So you might be considering getting into making YouTube videos, but you are literally losing sleep at night trying to decide what's the best camera for you to get in order to make the best possible videos. Well, in this video I want to demonstrate to you that there are far more important factors than what camera body you're using that are going to have a much greater impact on the quality and the look of the videos that you are creating. Well, in case you're now thinking, that's great Dave, but I haven't got any money to buy new equipment to make my videos look better, perhaps you should check out the sponsor of this video, Gizmodo. Gizmodo is a new website that allows you to sell your used tech online. They promise the highest prices of any online buying website, and they also offer fast payments and free unlimited shipping as well, and it doesn't matter if your items aren't in pristine condition either. Gizmodo will accept not only used but also damaged and broken items as well. So if you've got a load of old tech lying around and you want some extra cash in your bank, why not head on over to gizmodo.com with the link in the description and see how much you could earn today. Now, I'm actually recording this video on 4 cameras at the same time. Now, I'm not going to tell you what the cameras are just yet, that'll come at the end of the video. But for now, we're just going to refer to them as camera A, camera B, camera C, and camera D. Now, all you need to know about the cameras at this point is that they do cover quite a broad spectrum in terms of their specifications and in terms of the range and how people perceive them when it comes to the quality that they are able to produce. But when it comes to making your videos look good, there's 3 factors that are far more important than anything to do with the camera body, and they are content, lighting, and audio. So what I'm going to hopefully try and do now is vary up these 3 different aspects whilst comparing up the 4 different cameras to show you how they all compare to each other. So first, content, and obviously by this I mean the content within the video. What are you making a video about? Is it relevant to the person who's watching it? Is it entertaining? Is it eye-catching? Is it going to be engaging for them? Now, for this instance, that would be the difference between me sitting here telling you all of these different things versus me doing this. Now, by this point, you will have been noticing differences in the looks of each of these cameras, and you might be preferring one camera over other cameras. But I think we can all agree that even the worst looking video feed is more interesting to watch when I'm sat here talking to you than the best camera is when I'm sitting back doing nothing. Although I'm pretty sure some of you would like me to just sit back and say nothing, or better yet just leave altogether and leave you here with Rusty. But if I try that, he'll just follow me anyway. Next up, lighting. Now, if you're filming outdoors during daytime, then lighting is pretty much in abundance and you don't have to worry too much about it. But when the light level drops, either at night or when you come indoors, you're then generally forced to bump up your ISO. Now, while marketing departments absolutely love blowing the trumpet of low light performance in their new cameras and how the new sensors are so much better in low light than their previous generation, the fact of the matter is that the newer camera tech doesn't gather any more light than the older camera tech. All that differs with more modern tech is how it's able to try and filter out and suppress those noises. But there's no substitute to having more light to begin with. Now, if you're shooting indoors and you are having to brighten your exposure with your ISO, you might be tempted to just turn the house lights on, thinking more light, that's better. But there's a couple of problems with this. Firstly, house lights aren't really that bright. Yes, to our eyes they might seem to make the room quite a bit brighter, but to a camera sensor they don't really make that much of a difference. Second problem is colour temperature. Generally, house lights have quite a warm colour to them, and it throws warm light all over the place, and then that can make your white balance all crazy. Third, and frankly the biggest problem, is the positioning of them. House lights are generally up above your head, and they put really harsh, unflattering shadows all over your face, and they tend to flatten features as well. Now, whenever I'm shooting videos, including this one, I never have the house lights on. I have a main continuous white video light up here, which is generally lighting me up. I've put a small white light up on the shelf up there to act as a bit of a rim light just to fill in this gap. And I've got a light behind the sofa which is casting the blue up on the wall here. So all of these lights is not only shaping the look of my face, but it also means that all the cameras are able to shoot at pretty low ISOs and give pretty clean images. Now with a little bit of magic, also known as a little cut in editing, I'm going to click my fingers and all of these lights are going to turn off and I'm going to have only the house lights on. Oh, these look horrendous, don't they? So when I had my main light and the key light and the backlight on, I was able to keep the ISOs of the cameras pretty low, like round about between ISO 1 and 200. But now with those lights on and just the house lights on, I've had to up those ISOs to well over 1,000. But now let's save you the torture and get things back to how they were. Now what you will have noticed there is that the 4 cameras all looked very different to each other with just the house lights on. The white balances were just all over the place, but more importantly, the sharpness and the graining. And that's because some of the cameras were able to handle the low light and the higher ISOs better than others. But what you will notice is that all 4 of these cameras now with all of these lights on all look better than even the best camera does with the lights off. Next up, audio. Now right now you are not hearing me through any of these 4 cameras. You are actually hearing me through this microphone and external recorder. Now I'm going to switch from this microphone and I'm going to switch to the audios in the cameras. So this is the internal audio from camera A. This is the internal audio from camera B. This is the internal audio from camera C. And this is the internal audio from camera D. None of these sound anywhere close to this for a couple of reasons. Firstly, just hardware quality. The simple truth is that the microphones in cameras are not particularly good quality microphones, whereas dedicated external microphones are generally, even the cheapest ones, are better than what you will find in a camera. Second is distance. All 4 cameras are currently positioned about a good 4 feet away from me, whereas this microphone is less than half that. Which means that by being so much closer, the recording volume for the microphone can be a lot lower and still pick me up clearly, which means any background interference isn't as noticeable. And thirdly is the type of microphone. So this is a shotgun microphone or a directional microphone, which means it's designed to pick up the audio from whatever direction it's facing, which in this case is straight at me. The microphones on cameras pick up audio from all directions. So you're not only hearing the noise coming from me, but you're also hearing whatever's going on behind it. Which, granted at the minute, isn't much apart from the big wall, which you're getting my echo from. But now the moment I know you've all been waiting for, the big reveal. What are the 4 cameras that this video is shot on? So camera A is the Canon 60D, which is a decade-old APS-C DSLR. Camera B is my usual setup of the Sony a6400. Camera C is my full-frame Sony a7 III. And camera D is actually my smartphone, a OnePlus 6, which isn't even a particularly great smartphone. Now what you may have noticed while watching this in terms of the quality of the video from the various cameras is that the Sony a7 III is probably the better one, especially when the house lights were on in the low light situation. That should handle the noise better. But the smartphone footage under a well-lit condition with the external audio is going to look and sound better than even the full frame setup with house lights and internal recording. So in conclusion, as I've been saying, if you are currently shooting videos and you're considering upgrading your camera body in order to try and get better looking results and a better looking video, before you go diving headlong into that, you first might want to check your audio and your lighting setup, because they are generally going to be a cheaper upgrade that will give you far better results than a camera body does. And don't forget, if you are wanting to upgrade your equipment but you just don't have the money to do so, go and check out the sponsor of this video, Gizmodo, and get rid of some of your old electronics. But that's it for this video, guys. As always, if you have any questions or queries, the comment box is down below. While you're down there, if you haven't already, please consider hitting the subscribe button. And there is also my Patreon account if you'd like to go and check that out. Thank you so much for stopping by, and hopefully I will see you in the next video.